Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a hoax and it is not a joke when I tell you DTX is in the house.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through. I hope you're okay.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. It's good. This is the second time I've actually met you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
But we're in the same studio.
Yes. Here and that other place. Exactly. So this is the second time I'm officially meeting you.
Yeah.
Well, Kwanza, karibu sana Baze Radio.
Asante sana.
And as we're about to get into it, so I would love to pick your brain on a few things before we get into, what you do now and how you do it.
Yeah.
I'd want to understand who's DTX without the production, without the labels, without everything else. Walk us. How do you describe yourself to anyone who meets you?
Well, DTX is the music. DTX is the labels. Everything to do with music is DTX.
Okay.
When I'm not DTX, I'm asleep. My real name is Derek. No connection to the DTX.
Okay.
I've been making music for maybe 10 years now.
Love that.
The most I could say is outside of music, my only mission is to make sure Kenyan music is put on the map. Outside of that, nothing else. I am studio 24/7, music 24/7.
I love that. That's very beautiful. Yeah. I like that. So wait, give me 3 words that if you were to pick 3 words, how would you describe yourself with those 3 words?
The best.
Hey! Okay.
Determined.
Okay.
And very ambitious.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to get into your... Hey, you have a whole catalog.
Catalog de kubwa.
And I think, it's very crazy because many of us don't look at the production aspect of music.
Yeah.
We only focus on what is presented. That's the artist, the song itself.
Exactly.
But when you really get into the nitty-gritties of the music, there's a lot that actually goes behind it. And to sit and think like half of this catalog of the songs that we actually love is your work is actually crazy.
Thank you. The best.
Again, not undisputed. Completely undisputed.
Thank you.
But also, before we get into your whole catalog, I think before we jump into how you got into production, I'd love to know what were you up to before you decided, production might actually be my thing.
I mean, after uni, so I went to uni, for those who are wondering.
Nimsomi, by the way. By the way.
I worked in insurance.
Wow.
After that, I worked at EABL marketing for a while.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then I quit in 2018. I was like, wakati wa muziki umefika. Yeah. So I was like, maybe about 2 years into working, I realized, I could be spending most of my time making the things I care about, which is music. And if there's business in music, let me figure it out. Yeah, let me do it. Because it's a thing I'm passionate about. It's a thing, when you wake up and you're like, what's my talent? Mine was music. And so I was like, let me run with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who shall? You know what? It's that time, Kwanzaa. Let's just give them a little spice of some of the things that you've actually worked on. And guys, there's more conversation coming in.
Right,
so please,
go.
It's that time that you also get to send in your questions on 07162509333 as we get to chat more with DTX right here on Baze Radio. But as we get into the jams, this is DTX and with Truth with Bay playing on Baze Radio. When I tell you art is beautiful, I believe you know what I mean. That is Sauti Sol, Vir the Storyteller, Ben Sol, Okello, Max, and Zinia Manasseh on Rhumba, Japani. And again, my people, that was produced by DTX. Again.
DTX,
Listen, I'm intrigued because it's like my mind is opening to another level of understanding that really when it comes to music, it's not just about the singing. There's so many layers when it comes down to it. But I'd love to understand, when it comes to production, what are some of the inspirations that you have that actually pushed you into pursuing this side of music?
Yeah. I mean, for me, my love with Kenyan music began with songs from Kitambo.
It's evident on Rhumba, Japani.
I was a big fan, or I am a big fan of all the guys who were making music when I was growing up. Producers like Claymo, Lucas from Ogopa
DJs.
Musioka, those guys were crazy. But my favorite producer, the guy I tried to emulate early on in my career, was Matrax.
Love it.
Yeah.
Madi
he's a sick producer, The way he started off with Boda Boda. I was like, this guy understands what I'm trying to do. Let me learn from him. So yeah, that's actually where I got my first beginnings from. Code Red. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Matrax was the first guy to listen to my beats. He was just like, come through. I used to hit him up. Fortunately, we were almost in the same area.
Oh, wow.
So I just pulled up to his studio one day and I was like, yo, I have beats.
You have to listen to this.
I'm like, I'm a bit busy leo. Utachila ama utakam kesho? I was like, kesho this hour. Kesho, he was there and he listened, man. We spent like hours listening to my music, him telling me what I need to work on. Because at the time I was making like very hard dubstep music.
Okay.
Which is not very conventional for Kenyan. But like, he was like, yo, let's see what this says. Yeah. So he used to put me up in sessions. The first session I think we worked together was a song he did with Prezo called Unataka Nini.
Tell me about you.
Unataka Nini. That one.
Okay.
In studio with him as he was cooking that up, taught me everything he knew. I absorbed as much as I could. That's how I met Prezo. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much how I started off with making music, or at least the things that made me go, yeah, I want to do this.
Way deeper into production.
Exactly.
That is actually crazy.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I'd say, like you just mentioned, there's some sounds that don't normally do well in the Kenyan scene because probably not that it can't be consumed, but it's more like we've not evolved to that state yet.
Evolve, not really, but labda ijafikia tu watu. Because I think when good music gets to you,
you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I mean,
you said it well.
Who'd have thought EDM would be a thing here?
Truly.
But then look at Sophie and Zhao, big song.
Look at EDZ. Literally, it's taken over.
Kinafuzaka traveling. You know what I mean? So it's like, once guys catch on to good music,
inaenda
ikienda. So alikuwa na hate kitambo gengeton nini. Squeeze is the biggest artists.
And I can see you're taking me to where we actually want to go. Let's go. So we've been talking actually with my producer about sampling. And I think this is a conversation that we debate a lot, especially as Kenyans.
Yeah.
Because in our minds, I'll speak for myself. I believe that sampling is supposed to be you picking a very small piece of somebody's art and transforming it into your own.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like music, like urban tone music, where it's not that type of a sample, it's literally, the beat is taken and somebody just does their own thing on it. Can you still consider that a sample?
And it was rhythm. Just a rhythm. Where we have 10 artists on
the same beat.
Yeah. So I big up to guys of urban tone. I love their sound. I love what they're trying to do. There's a mixture of nostalgia and creativity because for those songs to bump, they need to bring in something different.
New flavor. That's very true.
Yeah.
So in your eyes, how would you define sampling?
How would I define sampling?
Yes.
I mean, twingy technicality.
Let's get into it, please.
I mean, you're not wrong when you say you pick a bit of something, flip it, and turn it into an original piece. But I think also, vocals, lyrics are also sampled.
Yes.
Flows are sampled.
Truly.
Beats, of course, are sampled. Yeah. And I think with urban tone, I generally think these guys are doing fantastic work. Is it bad? I don't think so. I think for the artist, the next phase for them is to make music that tomorrow's artist will sample as well. Yeah. It's about pushing yourself as an artist to make work that tomorrow's urban tone guys are sampling today's urban tone guys. Yeah. But it starts somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've put it well. Well, we're so deep, about to get into more conversation with DTX, but sort of the tracks that he did with Njerai. Coming right up is Party. That is Savara with Balance, straight off his album Savage Level. And like I told you, today we're getting to listen to all the finest work that DTX has gotten his beautiful touch on. And this is one of those.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like I was telling you, Savage Level is this is literally a classic.
It's a very dope album. It's a testament to the artist's belief in himself. When we're working on Savage Level with Savara, one of the things he really wanted to put out is his musicality, his individuality within the group.
Yeah.
And Savage Level, it's been called Savage Level because the man was going
savvy. He went ham.
He was going hard. And he was like, that the world, no, not Kenyans, the world. Kenyans already know me. Let the world now know.
Yeah. Nah, this is actually really good. Yeah. And we're actually just talking off air about the Kenyan music scene. And we were going back and forth about what we think is the problem, because as I was saying, Kenyan music, there was a time we literally were at like the forefront, and our sound was literally dominating in East Africa.
Yeah.
One day, Tulilala Tukamka and Bongo just whoop and went and has taken over, and it's like now we are literally struggling to get back to that place. And you were saying you're going to give me what you think is the real reason why. So,
I mean, first of all,
it's your time.
I don't think we are struggling, Sana. We have Calligraph Jones, we have Nyashinsky, we have Beard, we have Sauti Sol, we have Savara, Chimano, Senepe. We have some mega stars here.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And I think in East Africa, we could be the only people who ever won Grammys. Think about it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's no taking away from what Diamond and Wasafi have done in TZ. That guy is, he has put his country on the map.
Truly.
I don't know, man. You know, the truth is, sometimes with this dynamics of music, labda hata ni sponsor tu hatunanga. You know what I mean? You know, here Kamau will build a flat.
Facts, then pump it one artist.
You know, so
that's very true.
Hii pesa wacha niekelea hapa DTX angusha album tatu. Yeah, so we don't have that type of financial support. Yeah. And more often than not, it's because there's also no clear systems on how money is gotten back in music.
Very true.
So most artists go in thinking, niko na hit, natengeneza ngoma kadhaa, nipige show, nipate pesa, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
But sorry. But the economics of music are diverse. Like, you have to pay for studio time, you have to pay for photography, you have to pay for videos,
marketing.
There's so many things you have to pay for. By the time you get to, okay, how do I get all this money back? Most guys really haven't thought that part through.
Truly. And
so it becomes hard to find investors. And without investors, it becomes hard to scale. You get?
Truly.
And I think that's one of the things maybe I'd argue has helped support Tanzanian music, is that there's financial backup. Outside of some financial backup, there's the people. The people ride with their artists.
Yeah, hey, those guys pull up.
You know? And that's why I'm like, back to the Gengetone, urban tone conversation. Their fans ride with them.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a huge step. Yeah, that's a huge step. Where you go on DSPs like Spotify, Apple Music, and you're seeing a guy like Sean has over 50k monthly subscribers, and you're like, hello.
That's huge.
You know? We always think Kenyans are there on Spotify. They're on Spotify. They're on Apple Music, you know. And you look at their videos on YouTube, a guy like Boutros, like, look at this fan base he has, the type of support he gets. So it's just more like diving deeper into what fuels those fans.
That's true.
And just keep pouring that, injecting that. And I think eventually someone will get there.
I get that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You've put it so well. But that is just for the Kenyan music scene. But when it comes into production, what are some of the challenges that you faced, and how have you been able to overcome those challenges?
Crying artists.
What do you mean crying?
No, I'm joking. Wasadia lianga bei, but I'm joking.
Hey, yeah, you're not must.
You're must. Naelewa. I think the biggest challenge as a producer is more so getting your vision out there, because I think we can get stuck in what works, and so we all end up looping the same type of music.
True. And
then you're scared to try out something different. And I think that then makes a producer be like, sinitengeneze tu hizi ngoma za club.
Yeah, at least it's a guarantee.
Yeah, nitengeneze kabisa.
True.
I can now live my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fair. That's a very, very fair reasoning. Yeah, it's very fair. But it also plays to the lack of progress. Because if we're only doing it for the money, which is a very fair reason to do it, you'll only do what makes money.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you been able to overcome that?
Have I been able to overcome financial hurdles?
Not financial hurdles, like when it comes to the creativity aspect, like you said, when something is working, I mean, most of how Kenyan artists and producers movies, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So it's literally that all the way around. So when it comes to you, because I mean I can see you've diversed into so many different things.
Yeah.
So other than that just being the main challenge, have you been able to overcome, not staying in that loop of even what you already know?
Fortunately for me, I've been in a position where I've worked with different artists who have different styles of music. So it's forced me to be able to be diverse in my abilities.
Yeah.
So when working with rappers, there's a very different type of energy than working with pop singers and working with traditional singers. Yeah. And for me, the biggest challenge that I feel I overcame was understanding what's the business of music. Where's this money made? Where is this place trying to go? When you look at big labels like Universal, Sony, what's that business model? Yeah. And so for me, like getting signed, first of all, to the label, step one.
I love that.
Yeah, step one, you get into the label, you understand the dynamics of the label. Once you understand how these people make money, you now know how you're going to make money. Yeah. So for me, that will be the biggest hurdle I've overcome.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Listen, we're about to get into the music, but for now, since we're defrosting the Christmas season, this is about to be another session of our Christmas carol. This is What Child Is This by Isaac Kimani, Karimi Rimbui, Winnie Ongugi, and Willie Rama coming up on Baze Radio. That's that new Chimano fashion, and you heard it right here on Baze Radio. A very good morning to you, and welcome to the AM with only like 17 minutes to reach the top of the hour. We're still here in conversation with my man's DTX, and we're getting into all the good stuff that he's worked on. Another one there, fashion in his bag. Hey, but they won't overdo. Let's just put it overdo.
Mission yangu ni for everyone to have something they can listen to.
This is nice.
Yeah.
This is really nice. But I was talking Road to 100. So that's the first time I actually got to know about you and what you're up to.
Yeah.
So please walk us through Road to 100.
So about maybe 2 years ago, when I was working on the Savage Level, Heavy's, The Crown, working with Sauti Sol when they're working on their individual projects, it just dawned on me that for the longest time you guys were Rhumba, but on the individual basis, Chimano wants to do pop, Savara wants to do a combo of pop, Rhumba, Bien is doing pop, Afro, So I was like, you mean there's all this inside? Like, this is what you wanted to make?
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, how many other artists are capped by what they think is a hit versus what they actually want to make? And that made me think like, okay, if I told an artist, Cheki, ile ngoma yako unajaribu ku-experiment, come to experiment pamoja, what would that look like? What would that sound like?
Okay.
And I gave birth to 100 songs by DTX, which is mainly about music and different facets of music. So it's broken down into hip-hop, pop, dancehall, and my last genre is Catholic gospel music. Catholic gospel.
That's intriguing.
Why? As a Catholic, because I'm like, we need to turn up. Our music is amazing.
Your music is very turn up. I'll agree.
It's very amazing. It's not really turn up. It's very somber and very... Catholic music is very...
I've seen the YCS guys dance even to the Nyunyizie Maji. It's like...
But,
Mapanga Le and Nyunyizie is insane.
When you start adding flavor to it, that's how you now begin recruiting. So, And so the idea was, can I make 100 songs with 100 Kenyan artists? There's that artist who you always listen to when you're ready to go out.
Yeah.
So now I want musicians who... I want to make songs where when you're sad,
there's an artist that
there's like a Kenyan artist.
Yeah.
There's a song with DTX they did that
makes me want to cry.
But the day you're feeling happy, not the happy for drinking, but you're just happy and you're uplifting music. There's a Kenyan song over there. You're driving to coast, you're driving to wherever. There's a song for that feeling. And more so just also to expand the base of Kenyan music so that even as economies like film are growing, they also have music they can put in there that's Kenyan music as well. Yeah.
So how many songs have you done so far?
120.
Hey!
All Kenyan artists.
Not too shabby. I love that.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot of music coming your way. There's a whole diverse catalog of different settings, different genres, different vibes. Songs by artists you didn't even think that artist sings like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Can you give us one? Like, what one artist that we might not expect? Just one. Moja tu.
You know, this like scaring necessary noise on a house track. You know, something like that.
That is about to be interesting.
You know, songs like that. Listening to a different vibe of Brooklyn Boys. That's
like going R&B.
Not really R&B. It's still hip hop, but maybe a fusion of gengetone and some trap.
That would be nice.
Yeah, or drill.
That would be really nice.
There's some upcoming stuff with Nyashinsky.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, after Silencer, listen.
Yeah.
Well, we are ready. Give them back to back. We're here for it.
Last one we silence.
We are here for
haters. Bless the fans.
Love it. But before we actually get into Bad Guy with Steph Capella, I need to ask this. Can you walk us through your creative process as a producer? Like when you're trying to create a track, walk us through that process.
I mean, so there's two versions of this. Sometimes I make the beat in thinking about the artist. So I'll be thinking, what's the next song I can make for an artist like Karun that she'd appreciate, that meets what she's trying to do and what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So I'll create a beat within that realm, then send it to the artist. I'm like, this is what I was thinking. Let me know. More often than not, it's like,
let's do it.
let's go with it. The other version is an artist hits me up. It's like, yo, niko na ngoma nimekuwa kwa kichwa. Can we put this thing to music? And we meet in studio and
you pick each other's brains.
Tunaanza, we talk, yeah. So typically, like, a normal session with me will be like 3 hours. And the first hour is just talking. The first hour is us getting to vibe.
Understand each other.
Getting to understand, especially if it's the first time we're meeting.
Okay.
It's, let me know what your dreams are, your hopes are about this song, the music career, where you're trying to take it, where you're trying to go, what are you trying to do, who are you trying to emulate, all those things, like the works. Then we talk about what type of music gets you to that place. And we listen. So I tell you, like a session with someone like Chimano, we'd listen to a lot. He's very into 90s, 80s music.
Indie, you can tell he's very indie.
His music is very David Bowie, very Robin inspired. And I'm like, okay, let's vibe with this. So we listen to this stuff. We think around, okay, what's the fusion of this and what a Kenyan sounds like.
Yeah.
And we work on a track like that. Then for the next 2 hours, just that to go up
loop, fix, rewind. Oh my.
Writing sometimes. So on longer sessions, maybe some artists we write together.
Nice.
Yeah. Other artists maybe have written the song already. It's just you come and
do your thing.
But yeah, typically 3 hours, 1 hour we talk. The next 2 hours we cook.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to see another thing that he cooked with Steph Capella. This is Bad Guy. Let's get into it right here on Baze Radio. That is Friday Feeling by Chimano. Bring us to 3 minutes past 11. A very good morning to you and welcome to the AM. And of course, we're still about to get into it nice and easy with DTX. And that is actually one of the projects he also worked on. And again, guys, right now I'm literally in the presence of weakness.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
No,
thank you.
Your touch on every song that we've just heard is insane.
Thank you.
It's absolutely insane.
A lot of this is plus the artist. The artists are amazing.
Truly.
So it only helps my work stand out when the artist is amazing.
Truly.
Yeah.
Now that we've been talking about that, I'd love to know, what is one project or collaboration that changed your perspective as a producer and how?
That's a good question. To be honest, I think, sorry to go back to these guys, but like working with Sauti Sol is really the thing that changed a lot about how I think about music, about the game of music, the industry of music, especially seeing how it's work. Like, with music we get this idea that it's fun times, it's creative, it's free flowing, it's easy. But with these guys, you see it's work.
Yeah.
and it's work with purpose. Like, I'm doing this so that this happens. When this happens, these things begin to fall in place in a certain way. Because like with any job or any career, you want it to feed you and grow you.
Truly.
So I think it wasn't until I started working with these guys professionally that I realized, okay, you actually need to take this thing seriously. You need to take this thing like a career, because these guys have never had 9-to-5s.
Yeah.
They've never been at it.
Savara did have a 9-to-5. Alikuwa anapika pizza.
Alikuwa anapika pizza.
He's the only one who had a 9-to-5. Yeah.
I'm fine. Fair enough. And so these guys would never hit you with wacha tupatane jioni nikitoka job. Mzee akwambia naamkanga 6. Tutapatana 7.
Yeah.
Na mnamaliza session, mnamaliza siku yenyu 7 p.m. It's like, okay, how many songs have we written? How many songs have we recorded? How many beats have we made? And what of this collection of music, what stands out? Because their philosophy is, if you have a lot of things, you have a lot of things to pick from.
Yeah.
And you're able to know what's good, what's kawaida, and what's bad. So hawabatishangi, hata ingia studio kwambia niko na ngoma, tuna recording ngoma, inaanguka kesho. There's times like that, but more often than not, it's a process. And I learned that working with these guys. Yeah, very professional capacity.
I like that.
Yeah.
So which even brings us to the new drop, which is High, featuring... Is this a collaboration or is it featuring Sauti Sol? I don't even know how to put it.
It's a feature.
It's a feature.
Yeah, featuring BN, Chimano, Savara, Polycup.
Love that. Hey. Which we're about to listen to for the very first time in just a little while. But as we talk about that, so this song is basically just about celebrating victories that you've had in life.
Yeah.
And funny enough, yesterday was actually International Men's Day.
Yeah.
As some just discovered. But what are the little ways that you personally celebrate yourself and your small wins and your mega wins? How do you celebrate yourself?
I do affirmations almost on a daily.
For real?
Yeah, I do. I'm those guys. I don't look it.
You are enough.
I am enough. I am
you
more
are above the status quo.
You are the best. You are the best.
Love that.
Yeah. So I do those things just to keep reaffirming to myself, because we are also in an industry where people do judge you and people have comments and ideas of you. So it's very important to constantly tell yourself what you're doing is good, where you're trying to go is good, and you should stop for no reason whatsoever. Like, I mean, real reasons.
Yeah.
But like, don't stop until you get to where you're trying to go.
I like that.
I celebrate my wins by, one, musically is how I typically celebrate a lot of my wins. So I'll gift myself a concert and just go. So I'll go listen to some of my favorite artists or discover new artists. On a day-to-day basis, outside of mantras and affirmations, it would possibly just be like reaffirming to myself that I'm going somewhere with what I'm trying to do. And every day when I pull up to studio, I look at the studio I work at, and I'm like, yeah. We're moving somewhere. I love that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And as guys listen to High, what would you want to be the biggest takeaway?
I want the whole goal with making a song like High and with people like Sauti Sol was, one, to move from the obvious Sauti Sol sound and just show you a different side of what happens in a session where we're just vibing. We're just talking, and these are the things that come up. And with High, it's more about just being high off the dope things that are happening in your life. They don't need to be grand. They just need to be something you can recognize as, whoa, I've moved forward. You know what I mean? It can be the smallest thing, but you're like, this thing is giving me a high because I am moving. I'm not stagnant. And my takeaway for that would be, from this song, I just want guys to know there's always something great to celebrate. There's always a reason, despite how it feels in our country and the economy and everything going down, there's always a plus. And if you celebrate the plus, if you celebrate the plus, you'll begin to appreciate the compounding effect of celebrating positivity in your life. And that's what High is about. I'm high. Do you get high? Maybe sometime.
Yeah, you know?
Exactly. So if you listen to the song across the verses, Savara's verse is a high on love. Bien's verse is a high on success or career high. And then Polycup's high is those guitars he gives us. He blesses us with at the end. Then I'm
fancy fingers.
Yo, fancy. And then Chimano, he sings the hook in celebration of that. Like, even his tone in it, the reason he wrote that hook was like, we were actually in studio, and it was a great session. And it's like, to play that beat again, and that just came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
But before we get to listen to it, please tell the people, where can we find you? What is DTX getting into? Any showcases? Please.
Okay.
What's the T?
DTX Music across all social media platforms.
Follow.
Peep my YouTube, it's new. So natafuta subscribers. Ngoma zitaanguka. Msiogope.
Hey.
Subscribe.
Hey.
I think in the future, there's a bunch of things dropping.
Okay.
In a few, top of the year.
Okay. So that's 25?
25.
Okay.
We're dropping some new music with P-Unit.
Yay!
Brooklyn Boys. There's new music with Zinantoka ni mingi, bro.
You said Nyashinsky.
Kali.
You said Sanaipe Itande.
Sanaipe Itande. There's going to be 1 to 5 music, some really dope guys from Mulonga.
Yeah. Sydney and Saurabh. That's about to be fire.
Necessary Noise.
Love that.
P-Unit.
For reiteration.
It's one of my favorite songs. That's probably why.
We can't wait to hear that.
And a few special features from South Africa and West Africa.
Love that. Whew. Again, DTX, you're doing so amazing.
I appreciate that.
The fact that we've actually just gotten to deeply dive into some of the projects that you've put your hands on.
Yeah.
Listen. This is the time to give your affirmations.
Give them.
You are doing it for the culture.
Thank you.
But yes, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And as we wrap up this session, guys, Hi by DTX and Sauti Sol is available on every DSP. Stream, run those numbers up, and of course, support and enjoy good Kenyan music. Playing for the very first time right here, this is Hi.
This is Baze Radio.
We are 254 to the core.